The characters received much-needed closure as the episode came to a close. After critically injuring Hyun-Woo, Eun-Seong passed away. Hyun-Woo, though, bounced back and made up with Hae-In. Together, the couple had a child and enjoyed a long and happy marriage, with an elderly Hyun-Woo paying Hae-In a visit. The series concluded, offering viewers a pleasant and bittersweet resolution. One of the most watched K-dramas, Queen of Tears, has finally concluded. The drama follows the turbulent romance between Hong-gon and Hyun-Woo as they deal with a fatal illness, an obsessive villain, and a crisis in their marriage life before ending up together. It's one of the most unforgettable dramas because of the audience's intense appreciation for the couple's connection, both on and off-screen. Episode 16 of Queen of Tears continued where the previous episode left off. Eun-Seong kidnapped Hae-In, subsequent to causing Hyun-Woo's accident. Eun-Seong imprisoned Hae-In in a room as Hyun-Woo battled for his life in the hospital. After they remembered their proposal at the aquarium, Hae-In stood up and made an attempt to flee. When Hyun-Woo's parents went to see him in the hospital, they discovered he was gone. Despite his mortal injuries, Hyun-Woo set out to locate Hae-In and save her. When Hae-In discovered how enamored Eun-Seong was with her, she pretended to go see Hyun-Woo in order to prove that the latter had forged her signature. To temporarily console Eun-Seong, she apologized. Eun-Seong, in the meantime, said that they will board the chopper at first light, get married, and then head back to oversee Queen's group. In order to find out if Hae-In was still alive, Hyun-Woo checked with his buddy Kim Young-gi, a lawyer. Grace notified Imo Sway about Hae-In's absence. In accordance with Hyun-Woo's plan, Grace gave the impression that Eun-Seong was fortifying Sway's ambitions to become the next chairman of the Queen's group. When Sway saw that her son had taken Hong Mandy's money and exchanged it for US dollars, she became upset. In the meantime, Young-gi and Hyun-Woo came to the main home to save Hae-In. While he was on his way to see Hae-In, Hyun-Woo begged Hae-In to phone the police. Hyun-Woo spoke with the housekeeper before seeing Hae-In, and she provided him the hidden key to the back of the home. Hae-In overheard Eun-Seong and Sway talking about how the latter had orchestrated the beach disaster in the past. When a young Hae-In lost her elder brother Swan at the home, Hae-In was eventually grabbed by Hyun-Woo, and the two managed to flee. But Eun-Seong saw them coming and invited Hae-In to accompany him. The cops also showed up at the scene. In the meanwhile, Hae-In was photographed by Eun-Seong to defend her. Hyun-Woo, however, sprang in front and was shot. Later, Eun-Seong was shot and killed by the police. Hae-In collapsed, and Hyun-Woo was brought to the hospital. She expressed her regret for hurting him once more. Sway discovered the fund's concealed wealth. In the interim, she learned about her son Eun-Seong's passing from the police. Just as she was ready to depart, Kim In-hwa and Hong Bam-joon, Hae-In's parents, returned home and saw pictures from their beach vacation. The former realized Hyun-Woo had saved Hae-In during the mishap. The family of Hong and Beek gathered at the hospital upon learning of Hyun-Woo. Hae-In sobbed after realizing who her in-laws were. Chua expressed regret for treating Hyun-Woo badly when he was the one who saved Hae-In and informed Hyun-Woo's mother, Janbing, about their children's shared destiny. Finally, following his successful operation, Hyun-Woo awoke. Hae-In gave him a hug, and the family celebrated. Hae-In questioned Kim Young-gi about Hyun-Woo's motivation for divorcing her. The attorney requested that she put their love story first and forget about the past. Hyun-Woo and Hae-In had a few special moments together. Hongbam's Bam-ya and Bam-joon, Mandy's 3 offspring, got back together to get revenge on Moi. In the meantime, the latter chose to use the hidden fund to purchase further shares. Hyun-Woo promised to pursue a lawsuit and used this information to help the family understand how the illegal hidden fund was used. In the meantime, Grace was advised by Cha-hee to come clean about her deeds. She made the decision to lead a moral life and told as much. Hyun-Woo gave evidence during the court hearing about Sway-hee's usage of the secret fund that showed how she persuaded individuals to purchase troublesome land by making it appear as though the plaintiffs were losing money on their investment. Cha-hee entered the witness stand and admitted her wrongdoings. As Sway-hee's attorney attempted to place the blame on Yoon, Bai disclosed that Sway-hee had counseled her to wed Seul and conceal her identity. Bai went on to say that in order to close the land and resort transaction, she forced Seul to meet with Yoon. But when it proved insufficient, Hyun-Woo produced important documentation. He forced Grace to flip the tabs that showed proof that Sway-hee had drugged Monday. Upon her arrest, the police charged her with attempted murder. With honors, the Hong family was admitted back into the Queen's group. They were followed by a few joyful moments, such as Sway-all spending time with his adoptive son Janu, while they awaited the beginning of Dae Bamya and Eun-Seong's relationship, and the reunion of Be My Son and her husband. Hae-In, in the meantime, persisted in her vision to improve customer satisfaction at the Queen's department store. Secretary Not told her that Hyun-Woo had made reservations at a restaurant where individuals had been proposed to, but it was only a workplace party, which disappointed Hae-In. Upon returning home, Hae-In thought back to the couple's infant loss. She was devastated by this. The next day, while out on a stroll, the couple vowed to stick together forever in spite of their differences. They also chose to become parents. After some light-hearted repartee, Hyun-Woo ultimately asked her to marry him. Hae-In accepted. Hae and Grace were reunited with Sewell and the family after being freed from the correctional facility. By the conclusion of the episode, Hyun-Woo and Hae-In spent time with their kid in Germany, creating memories with the families of the Beak and H. The episode concluded with an elderly Hyun-Woo returning to Germany in 20174. But this time he showed Hae-In that they had spent enough time together before one of them went away by placing flowers on her grave. He noticed Hae-In in front of him when he was visiting the flower field. After exchanging brief thoughts on their romantic history, the two said, "When one of us is left, the other one can come to meet them, then it won't be frightening at all since we'll be reunited." Their trip came to a joyous but actually bittersweet finish at this point. Thanks for watching, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss out on the latest videos of Movie Recap Pro.